Join me today to discuss Vitex care, walk around the garden, and look at gorgeous salvia that reseeds to give you a lot of free plants and more. Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. I am Lynn, and yeah, it looks like I'm trying to wear at least every shade of green in my closet today. You know, it's garden work. But anyway, about a month ago, I started this week in the garden, and today's Thursday. I have not been in the garden this week at all because we went to Houston last weekend, and I came back the weekend before last, and I came back sick. So my target was to get everything in the garden, so all new plants by May, which I almost made that deadline. I think I had everything in the ground by May 7th. And so now I've just been trying to do all the chores in the garden, and there are a lot, y'all. And I'm so behind. Today is Thursday, so I'm starting my week in the garden on a Thursday. It is overcast. I think when I walked out, I checked, it's 73 degrees, but it's 80% humidity because it rained last night. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm going to try and get as much work done as I can out here. About more plants. Yes, I have 8 plants coming. All should be here next week, and I'm going to show you all those plants. Oh my gosh, this is such a long introduction. You guys, let me stop jabbering and show you some of the things that I need to do. Okay, so then I have to go in and trim for the summertime Busybee Vitex. It is such a vigorous grower. The Crape myrtles that limbed up, they need to be cleaned up on the bottom. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to clean it up. I contemplated taking off this, but I think I'll leave it and just clean up the new shoots on the bottom. Those basil shoots, and then all of these new shoots on this Crape myrtle of this Busybee Vitex. I'll probably limit up a little more to give this Russian sage a little more sun in the yard, y'all. As you can see, or maybe you can't see, this property is highly sloped. It is 8 to 9 feet higher on the west side than it is on the east side. And boy, does that cause some drainage issues. Anyway, carefully going over here. So this Busybee Vitex, I did not do anything to it so far this year. I had limbed it up in the fall, but I need to get in here. You can see all of that down there. I need to get in there and clean all of that up. This area is a mess. There's so many weeds to be pulled. The weeds are never ending, y'all. Gosh, I think every weed known to man lives here. But you can see right here where I started adding the cedar mulch, and then where I stopped. So the cedar mulch is the light, and then you see over here it's dark. And so I needed to add new mulch anyway because there are 18 Texas live oaks in here of varying sizes. And when they drop their leaves, and you see they've even dropped more since the big cleanup, but they drop their leaves, and then they then get the catkins, and then they drop that. And so it was a big mess. So when the guys came in to remove all of that, because it is just too much for us to handle, they pulled up a lot of the mulch in the process. So since I wanted to add cedar mulch, as you can see, it's not a thick layer, but because I already had a decent layer of mulch here, and some of that still remains in certain areas, but I'm in the process of adding cedar mulch throughout this space. So where the irrigation lines are, so right here and over there, I had 2 agastaki that didn't return. So those are arriving next week. So those are replacement plants. This area is kind of a mess though. I have some plants that are having issues. So when I found these stakes in the bed, I threw them over here so I can use them. Hey, there's another stake back there. I'm gonna have to go get that one. Sidetracked. Isn't that Vitex doing well back there behind my hydrangea? So the hydrangea is Gatsby Moon, and again it needs some iron. I ran out, so it's going to be one of the plants I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of iron to. And then that is a Vitex tree that is Rocksteady behind it. So this will become about 6 to 8 feet in height, and that will become about 12 feet in height, but not super wide. Okay, walking out of the matcha trees. I'm at a loss for what I want to do in this curve right here, because it is a drainage point. And to be perfectly honest, I'm thinking about just putting 3 sprinter boxwoods in here. So one right here. Let me back up a little. So one right here, one right here, and then one over here in between this rock rose. And then this is a Busybee Vitex. So I'm thinking about just putting 3 right there. Okay, food for thought. Oh, the yarrow's still doing quite well. At some point, I'm gonna take these Amazon waste baskets off of it. Y'all, I refuse to spend as much as what they want for some of these plant protectors that look like these waste baskets. I have a couple of pretty ones, and yeah, I get that. Look at my yarrow, y'all. All of them, they're taking off. I think they're happy. And this is Walker's Low Catmint. Nepeta already has a bloom in there. Happy to see that. So pretty soon, this is my little project from a couple of weeks ago. All of these plants went in a couple of weeks ago. I am going to be able to take those off. To have all this mulch, the cedar mulch, is for that matcha tree space that I showed you, so it's all got to be moved back. I have to wait for my husband for that because, yes, I did something to my shoulder, and you know, it's been over 10 years since I had a cold. I haven't had a flu since I was in my 20s, and I mean any kind of flu, no antibodies. And I got a cold. I spent the first 2 days just in surreal land thinking, I can't believe this is happening to me. I know, that's silly. But anywho, so I have that. I have some topsoil, and I have some dillo dirt. That it's all for the matcha tree space. Oh, this Hopi Crape Myrtle. If you want to see how it blooms. Y'all, this was not the pink that I thought I was going to get. Everything up here is kind of a cooler pink, and this is clearly a salmon pink. Look in there. I just noticed that. You see the white back there? I think this Henry Dulberg has reseeded another of his wife, Augusta. Does that sound weird? Anyway, and then because it reseeded this, then I'm going to have to dig out soon, and I'm going to put it somewhere in the yard. This is also reseeded. Look at that. You want a bunch of free plants? Put a Henry Dulberg. It's going to reseed all over the place. That one back there kind of looks like another white one. And this one right here, that's another one that I've got to dig out. I think I'm going to dig that one out first because it looks the easiest. So this is just in-ground soil, garden soil. So garden soil for in-ground use. I really like these. This is Wrightii Skullcap. You have to plant it a little high, but sometimes that doesn't support it the best. So hopefully this does the trick. So I'm just gonna keep patting it in to kind of firm it up. But it is alive. Look at that. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, I cleaned up the trunk of this Crape Myrtle. These two Skullcap, they were staked. And y'all, I don't know what's going on down here. It's almost as if a branch got rooted into the ground and started growing another Vitex tree. So I think this looks pretty good. So that evergreen's gonna fill up the space of the panel back there. The blue point juniper will become 6 to 8 feet wide. So that's the blue point juniper back there. Miss Violet. And then there's an evergreen back there that you can't see that will fill up the space about to right here. So this will fill in there. This will fill in over there. And then I have two great new plants coming. And one's going under here. And one's going over here. They'll be able to deal with part sun here. And I would like to continue the boxwood in front. Now that I've got this loomed up, I should be able to put the boxwood, maybe 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 right there. And I think this section will look good because everything is kind of filled in through here except for this space right here. I think it's gonna look good. But for now, I have to chop up all of this. So that's next. Oh, but before I do that, I forgot to put these inexpensive waste baskets around the skullcap, purple skull, right side skullcap. So I'm going to go back out there and put these around those plants just to keep the mulch and things out of it. So I got it all laid down until I ran out of mulch. As you can see, the right side, I still need more bags. So I think it's looking pretty good. Next week, I will be showing y'all those new plants that I am receiving. Thanks for watching. Please consider clicking subscribe, and I hope you have a great day in your garden. Bye.